Hello and welcome to this bonus presentation of the Summer 19 Release Readiness Live Series. I'm Elna Miller and I'm here with the team for Pardot, where they will be going through some of the greatest new enhancements for B2B marketing. Now, just as a quick reminder, we may be making some forward-looking statements, so please do make sure to make your purchasing decisions based on currently available functionality. And with that, let's do a quick round of introductions and then dive in.
Great. I'm Carrie Aves, and I'll be talking to you about some lightning enhancements as well as giving you a sneak peek at our upcoming roadmap.
Hi, I'm Prasanna Vijaykumar. I'm the resident Toronto Raptors fan at Salesforce. And we'll be talking to you about how we're making some of the engagement data available within Salesforce from Pardot.
So Pras is very happy today. So my name is Kayvon Gassamia, and I'm going to be covering Pardot Einstein. I also cover campaigns and connected campaigns as well.
Great. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. And Carrie, I know you've got a lot to show us, so let's dive in.
Excellent. All right. So we've delivered a lot of great features over the past year, and a lot of our inspiration comes from you in the community. In fact, we've closed more than 20,000 idea exchange points just this past year. So thank you so much for always being so great and giving us great feedback on what you want to see next in the product. When we're thinking about our roadmap and releases, we're actually looking at 4 different themes. Lightning Platform, continuing to innovate there to help all of our B2B marketers and salespeople to be more connected and aligned. We're always looking for ways to make salespeople and marketers more productive. We're also introducing new capabilities in analytics to help everyone better understand their campaign performance and improve upon that. And finally, we're also introducing new capabilities with an artificial intelligence to bring next level productivity to both marketing and sales. Now, I'm going to kick off with some information about Pardot Business Units. If you remember, in spring 19, we introduced Pardot Business Units. And when you're looking at a Pardot Business Unit, the user has access to all of the prospects and assets for that particular business unit, which makes this release even more exciting because now users can exist in more than one Pardot business unit. This helps the admin to more easily manage the configuration by business unit and the marketers to manage all of their assets across different business units. And the great thing is that they can easily switch between their business units right from within the Lightning app. Now, we can't forget our salespeople. So with Salesforce Engage, we're introducing a new streamlined experience with the introduction of a default template. This means that when they go to launch their Engage campaign, they'll no longer see a blank composer. They'll actually see a default template that's ready for them to get started. And when using the default template, if you're using locked regions as part of that template, the great thing is that you can be sure to enforce any compliance regulations. So things like unsubscribe links or copyright or key our product logos right within the template. And this is a great enhancement for our financial services customers. I know they've been waiting for this for a long time.
This is really exciting. I got a quick question for you.
Sure.
With the default templates, do all sales users see the same template?
They do, actually. This is an org-wide setting, so all users will see the same default template today.
Awesome.
So I'm actually going to show you a demo. So let's jump into that demo and take a closer look. So here I am on my lead record, and if I go up to my actions and I click on my Send Engage Email, my Engage Email Composer will load. And here you'll see that when the composer loads, it actually presents me with a blank screen. So there's nothing there. I have all the freedom in the world to type in whatever I want. Well, this can be great for a salesperson, but also kind of challenging because maybe they just want to send a quick email and they want to start out with a default template. It's also a little bit frustrating for marketers because they oftentimes want to ensure that they're enforcing their brand and making sure that the emails that are going out are of high quality. So now with the default email template, if we go to our Pardot settings page, we will actually be able to see where you can set your default template, which will solve the needs for both of those users. So not only are our marketers being able to enforce their brand, but also our sales reps being able to have the best experience without having to search for a template that they use quite frequently. So here in my account settings page, I'm going to click Edit, and I'm going to scroll down to the Salesforce Engage section. So you can see that here. If I expand the Salesforce Engage section, you'll see that we have a new setting for Set Default Template for Engage Emails. And so if I click on that, it's going to allow me to select a template. So I'm going to click Choose. I'm going to scroll up here and I'm going to grab this template. And I'm going to choose that selected template. And so you'll see that now that template is selected as my default. I'm going to click Save Account. And then I'm going to go back over to my lead. And if I grab that Send Engage email experience again, you'll now see that my template is loaded by default. So this, isn't this great? So as a salesperson now, I just open that email composer and I can get started. So no more waiting to look for a template, no more having to come up with my own content. So this is really great enhancement, again, for our salespeople. And that is kind of our demo in a nutshell.
Awesome.
All right, that was great, Carrie. So just a quick question about the templates. Are those Salesforce templates that you're bringing in, or are they special Pardot templates?
Those are Pardot templates. So as a marketer, I'm creating all this great content, and so those are my marketing templates that I've created in Pardot.
Oh, great. Thanks for that clarification.
You're welcome.
All right, Prasanna, I think you're up next.
I am. So with the power of the platform, one of the things that we get when we connect Pardot and Salesforce campaigns together is our ability to actually pull in the engagement data from Pardot right into Salesforce. And so with Summer 19, what you can see when you go to your asset record is actually a list of recent engagements by different prospects. And similarly, when you go to your account, contact, lead, person account, you'll see that same view, but from their perspective of what marketing assets are they engaging with. And that same information is not just available to your marketing users, but also to your sales users. So they get a sense of what that account looked at recently, what did that contact or lead look at recently as well too. And then we took this a step further with the engagement history dashboard. So with the related list, we were showing you recent engagement. With the engagement history dashboard, we're now allowing you to understand the trends of what's happening here, right? So gives you a sense to understand the patterns in terms of the who, the what, the why, the when, and how people are engaging with specific campaigns. And what's cool about this is we're better enabling your sales and marketing alignment because these dashboards are actually available to both sales and marketing users, and it's available across all Pardot editions as well. And so I'd actually like to give you a quick demo of what this looks like. So what I have here is the engagement report I've loaded up here. And so you can see a trend of the different asset types. You have your activity data at the top here. And right below here, you have this handy table that shows you a recent list of engagements that are happening. What I can do is you have the power to get in here and filter. So if I want to focus on something very specific like landing pages as an asset type, I can filter it onto just that and get a sense of like what patterns of my landing pages are the right things that are driving engagement for this campaign. Could it be forms? Could it be the emails? If I've got multiple emails, have the ability to come in here and focus on that. And that's it in terms of the demo for this. Let's hop back to the slides.
So a quick question, actually, Pras. So what data are we able to see here on this? We're looking at a campaign right now, right? So what's kind of the data set?
That is a great question, Kevin. So with this specific campaign dashboard, you're seeing connected campaign data. So your campaign must be connected. Your Pardot and Salesforce campaign must be connected for you to see this data. What we're doing with the new dashboards that were coming out in the subsequent releases, we'll be syncing over all data regardless of whether or not it's connected. So when we do our new account, lead, engagement history dashboards from Pardot, you'll be seeing all data regardless of whether or not it's been synced.
Right, nice. It's because the engagement information is so important. So you talked about the related lists, and how does that compare to the metrics? The metrics are something we have right now, right?
Exactly. So the metrics right now are very much a roll-up, right? So you don't get the granularity you can see in terms of recent engagements. The metrics are very much a roll-up, and the related list is giving you a quick snapshot of who last touched this campaign, who last touched this asset, or what did this prospect or lead look at last.
Right. Awesome.
I think this is a great reason for customers to start moving over to the Lightning app. I mean, just
Absolutely.
having this dashboard available to me would be amazing.
Definitely.
And did you say this was included? It's not an add-on. It's included for
Yep,
all editions?
included for all editions. Now, depending on what edition you're on, there's a different set of licenses that you can assign. There's 5, 10, and 20 licenses, view-only licenses you can assign out to keep people in your organization. And of course, if you want to expose this to your sales users, we have the ability for you to add on additional licenses as well, too.
Great, thank you. And you have some slides now, or are we?
Yes, we're actually going to hop back into slides.
Okay.
All right, so that is me. So I'm going to talk about Pardot Einstein. Pardot Einstein is something that we launched in our last release, and it includes campaign insights and behavior score. And in this release, we're actually GAing campaign insights. So campaign insights was actually in an open beta. And now that's actually in GA. And it does require the Lightning app, which Carrie mentioned. There's a lot of great stuff coming in the Lightning app. It also does require connected campaigns. The other thing we're doing with Campaign Insights is we're actually adding support for forms and landing pages. So in the beta, you would get Campaign Insights about list email sends, which obviously is a core thing for our marketers. But we also want to give you insights about forms, about landing pages. What's engagement like on certain landing pages or forms within the context of campaigns? And now we're providing that as well with Campaign Insights. So Campaign Insights is in GA with support for more asset types. The other thing I want to talk about was behavior scoring. Behavior scoring is the other big piece of Pardot Einstein. And there's a few things we're doing here with behavior scoring. One key piece is we're actually making it available in Process Builder, right? So that's really important because it actually enables us to get the behavior score, the Einstein behavior score, also into Pardot by using Process Builder, which I'll kind of show you in a bit. We're also then able to use behavior score in Pardot side automations like Engagement Studio. And finally, we're actually increasing the cadence of the behavior score model build. So that model, the predictive model for behavior scoring, is now built more frequently. It's built every 10 days. These features are available in Advanced Edition, right? So it's a great reason to look at Pardot Advanced Edition. It's really powerful stuff here. So what I'd like to do now is actually flip over to a demo and show you Campaign Insights and a little bit of how the behavior score can be brought into Pardot using Process Builder. So what we're looking at right now is actually the Einstein Insights component on the home page. As you can see here, getting a snapshot of what's going on with my campaigns in terms of insights. So I'm seeing low form submission rate. Oh, that's not great. High engagement for a segment here. I'm seeing high list email open rates for this campaign. I'm seeing a ton of really powerful insights about my campaigns kind of in a snapshot. I can open these different insights and look and see what's going on in here, right? But rather than dig into that, what I'll do is I'm just going to drill into that campaign. So we can see here now on the campaign page as well, we have these insights. So what is Einstein telling me that's going on with this campaign? So this landing page, which is part of my product launch phase 1, actually has a higher than average engagement rate, which is really interesting to know. Also, it's actually good for me to know what's not getting engagement. So the landing page is getting engagement, but the form is actually getting lower engagement. This is really insightful for me as a marketer because it tells me, okay, they're getting to the landing page, they like the landing page. Something's going on with that form, right? So I might want to look into that. Also, Einstein is telling me, hey, check it out. You've got this segment of people, of prospects, looking at this landing page that are pretty engaged, and this is what they look like. They're in telecom, they're directors of marketing, and they're people who have clicked a link in this email, product launch phase 1 nurture. So this, again, is really compelling insight for me because it's telling me, wow, there's a segment, and this is really interesting. Turns out this is the segment I'm actually targeting. This is great. But also this could be telling me about segments that I may not know about yet that are engaged in certain ways. So really, really quickly, Einstein is giving me some really great insights about my campaigns, about what's going on. All right, so I'm going to flip now to Process Builder. And I'm not going to go through the steps, but what I've shown you here is that we have a process that is going to actually copy our Einstein behavior score into a custom field on the lead object. And you can get some great information on how to do this more specifically in a blog post that we'll mention later that one of our colleagues did. But what we're doing is we're copying the behavior score into a custom field on the prospect. And then now, once I have that, I can sync that Einstein behavior score into Pardot. So now I'm in Pardot. But when I say I'm in Pardot, I'm in the Lightning app in Salesforce, right? So it's all one and the same now. I'm looking at an Engagement Studio program, and I can see here that I now have my Einstein behavior score as a field available to me. And I can create a step right here that says, okay, well, if the Einstein behavior score is greater than 75, do something. In this case, it's going to be send an email. This is a very simple program just to show that I can bring the behavior score into in the Engagement Studio. Obviously, you can have much more complex programs. But the key, again, is the Salesforce process builder allows me to copy the Einstein behavior score into Pardot, and I can then use this behavior score in Engagement Studio. I can also use it in automation rules and other places where I might be interested to use this score.
Very cool. A question for you about the Einstein Insights. Is there a lot of setup that the users have to do to get value out of that?
So if you're on Advanced, it's actually really easy. All you have to do is turn it on. However, I will say again, kind of like with some of the other stuff that's going on, Connected Campaigns is required.
Gotcha.
Connected Campaigns is something that's going to be more and more present and more important. Hint, hint, everyone should be going to Connected Campaigns.
Very subtle.
And I am the PM for that also, and I'm here to help you to do that. But I think there's a lot of, it's really bringing Salesforce and Pardot together on campaigns. And so that is a requirement, yeah.
Awesome.
So my question's a little more basic.
Okay.
So behavior score is fairly new. We have lead score, which has been around for a while. Do I use either or can I use them together? Like, what's the benefit to using behavior score?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I will say that it will vary a little bit by customer. What lead score is doing, lead score is a predictive score that is trying to predict lead conversion. So it's really great for sales users, a little bit more geared towards sales users. That's not to say that our marketing users wouldn't be interested in it. And the behavior score, what I would say is a little more up funnel, a little bit more targeted towards our marketing users. Also, the behavior score is looking at prospect engagement, right? So it's really a little bit more on the marketing side. That's not to say, again, that our sales users may not be interested in the behavior score as well. So we're really looking to get feedback on, hey, like what's useful for you as our users. But right now, that's, lead score a little geared towards sales, and the behavior score a little geared more towards marketers and when they're marketing based on engagement.
Excellent, thanks.
Yeah, in the Marketing Cloud segment earlier this week, we were talking about saturation, and how sort of looking at people's behavior with respect to open and click and things like that. Like, are they more receptive to more communications? And would this be used for something like that? Like, let's say you're trying to determine, like, here's somebody who's super engaged. Maybe we need to send them some more communication, send them more ideas, information, whereas another, they're already not engaging much, maybe they're going to opt out or something if we do too much.
Absolutely.
Right?
So I think the different scores can tell you different things. You'd act on them different. Like a high score, you would do a certain thing. With a low score, it doesn't mean you would ignore that prospect. You might do something very different. It's also got recency, so the score is actually going to be higher if the engagement is more recent, and the score is going to start to go down over time as the engagement is more in the past, which is also really helpful.
I love the idea of using Process Builder to action those intelligent insights.
Right.
Because a lot of times you look at those insights and you go, okay, what do I do with it now? So now you're actually putting it in the data and then using it as criteria for further automation. So that's
and automations in the Salesforce side are on Process Builder, as well as the marketing automations in Pardot, like Engagement Studio, and so you can use them in all those places.
Now, just a quick question. You mentioned a few things are Lightning only. And so if a customer is using both Salesforce and Pardot, do they have to move everybody onto Lightning in order to use Pardot Lightning features or the Pardot Lightning app? Or could they just focus on the users that are really in Pardot most of the time?
I don't think you would have to move everyone. I think over time, ideally, as we invest more and more in Lightning, you would eventually want to think about that. But certainly right now, not everyone has to go to get the benefits of the embedded analytics and the connected campaigns in Einstein.
All right. Thanks for clarifying that. Any other questions from the panel?
No, this has been great.
Right.
Very informational for me too.
So do you have some roadmap maybe to talk about?
What's coming next, Carrie?
I do. As a matter of fact,
I saw you grabbing the clicker.
I'm grabbing the clicker. We have some more content to cover. So you've seen Summer 19 and all the goodness there, but let's take a look at what's next. We're continuing with Lightning innovation, and we're going to be bringing automated emails into engagement history. I know that a lot of our customers who've been using engagement history have been waiting for this. And this one I know Praz is really excited about.
I have to shamelessly plug this because my team's working on this. So we saw the engagement history dashboards for campaigns. We're going to be doing the same thing for accounts as well too. And this is really fascinating because we're not just showing you recent engagement, we're trying to do some roll-ups to show you what campaigns the account was most engaged with, which people were mostly active in the account engaging with the different marketing assets in there. and then helping you understand who you should be reaching out to first in that account. And that's something that's great for marketing to expose to their sales users as well.
No, I agree. As the former product manager for accounts, I think accounts is the hub of everything for both sales and marketing.
Yes, absolutely.
In addition, we know that marketers are really busy and you're launching tons of initiatives every year, but oftentimes those initiatives don't change much from campaign to campaign. So with this in an upcoming release, we're going to be introducing snippets. And snippets will allow you to easily reuse content across your marketing assets, so emails and landing pages. All you do is simply update that tag, and the information cascades across all of your marketing assets where that snippet is used. So snippets will be a huge time saver for our marketers. In addition, we're going to be introducing a standard merge language. So this will now make merge fields standard across both sales and marketing emails, which will make it really easy for your users. Again, no confusion over what that format should be. And in addition, we're going to be introducing a new search function in the tag or merge field picker. I know that seems really small, but it'll make it so easy for you to find the appropriate field to put into your email or landing page. We're continuing to enhance Engagement Studio. One of the key features we're going to be introducing here are multi-condition rules or multiple criteria rules. This will allow you to keep your programs concise. I think one of the big challenges we have today is that with single criteria rules, you have a lot of branches and logic that has to go into place. And so this will allow you to combine that logic into a single step, making your programs nice and tight. And also, we're going to be introducing some more capabilities around GoToWebinar to increase your personalization capabilities. We're going to be supporting simulated live webinars, and recorded webinars are one of the things that our community has been asking for a long time. So I'm really excited to be able to bring this new enhancement to you. And finally, we're going to be introducing in B2B Marketing Analytics a new prospect and visitor activity data set. This will be a single data set that will allow you to see all of your activity and engagement data across both prospects and visitors. And this will allow you to actually dig into the engagement data based on things like account or job title or region or even custom Pardot fields. And I think this will be really huge in helping the marketers to understand the who, what, why, and how much behind the engagement statistics. So it'll really give you more insight into all of that engagement data. And finally, we have a lot of information that we've shared today, but if you're interested in learning more about the Pardot releases, we have our own Pardot releases page that you can check out, and you can see all of the great goodness that we have for Pardot. For those of you who might not be aware, Pardot has additional release announcements throughout the year, so we have additional releases that we announce in April and August and December, so you can always go to this releases page to find out more information. We also, each release, introduce a new features blog post. And this is where you can just go and learn tips and tricks on some of the new features. And a good example was that blog post that Kayvon mentioned about building AI-powered engagement programs. So you can have a quick link to that as well, where it gives you step-by-step instructions on how to build what Kayvon demoed today. And as always, there's the tried and true Salesforce release notes where you can find all the great Pardot information right in the Pardot section. And that's it for us.
And also remember, there is a great community for Pardot in the Trailblazer community. We'd love to get come and talk to us there, talk to the team, lots of experts and other customers like yourself who are using Pardot who want to talk about some of these features or talk about using best practices and all the lot of the resources that Kara just shared are most likely going to be shared there as well. So definitely come join us there. So thank you so much for joining us for this special presentation. I can't wait to hear how you're using new features to innovate. So let's keep the conversation going in the Trailblazer community, where all Trailblazers meet to be release ready.